And we're live.
Hello, everybody. I'd like to welcome to this week's edition of Doc Tales a Fisherman Story. This is our second show, and our guest this week is Two Stans, Stan Smith of the Two Stans Fishing Channel.
Hello,
And
hello.
Tom, if you want to start reading off people in chat, if we've got some people in there.
I got the Robotron again. Can you hear me?
You sound great, Tom.
Yeah, you sound great.
Okay. All right. I'm getting all the garble. Jody, why don't you go ahead and start and see if this clears out for me so I can hear.
Okay. We're going to start with at the very beginning, so I work my way down. We got Uncle Josh. Josh is bladesmithing. How are you doing tonight? It's all mine, Michelle. Melissa, nice to see you tonight. Lisa Lee. I don't know how you put up with them, but more power to you. And we got Rondell Perry. Nice to see you this evening.
What's up, Rondell?
CVA Adventures. Art from One Ton Fishing Club. Brian B. Catfishing. Heidi, how are you tonight?
What's up, bro?
Tim Molina, nice to see you. Avid, how you doing, Bigfoot? Catfish Regulators. You say Aaron, and he just pops up. Poor old Lisa. That's all I gotta say. Then we have.
Oh, Avid, I saw your message.
Right now. We got 13 people in chat.
Avid, I did see your message just before we went live. I appreciate that. Thank you, buddy. All right. It looks like my problem is cleared up. I can hear everything now.
Okay.
And you're coming across beautiful. This is picture perfect I'm watching it on the tablet, so it's looking great.
Oh, excellent.
I mean, I'm on there, so of course it's looking good.
Well, yeah. That's why we put you on the big screen.
John Parker, he's in. Him, Miss Dana.
John and Dana.
Yeah.
All right. So why don't we get started?
Okay.
Stan, why don't you tell us a little bit about how you got started into the catfishing?
Well, first of all, I heard you say John and Dana. Look at that. That's more of that awesome peanut brittle.
Oh, that looked awesome yesterday.
Oh my gosh, I was glad I had it. I was eating it all day. Kept me going.
It looks delicious.
Out there with second to last place, Stan. But catfishing, we've fished. I've fished my entire life pretty much since I was born, as far as I know. I remember when I was younger, I'd be ice fishing with my father, and I'd be, closest out there. I could go on the thinner ice because, I was a little kid. So, but I remember fishing as long as I can remember things going. I was fishing, and I did the same thing with my son and my daughter and my granddaughters, and even my son's friends. That was they would come over to the house, and Stan 3 wouldn't even be home sometimes, and they're like, well, I'm like, Stan's not here. And they're like, that's all right, we came to go fishing with you. So that's I've always been that kind of fishing has been a part of my life since pretty much day one.
Now, did you catfish in New York?
Now, in New York, we did catfish, but there was mostly bullheads. We had a place that had it was the Bashakill. That was mostly bullheads in there, but you get some nice bullheads. But they had eel too. And funny story with that is I remember we were younger kids, and my sister's a year younger than I am, and we were out in the boat with my father and my mother and my sister, and all of a sudden her pole she hooks into an eel. This eel was probably I can't even get it in the picture. It was probably over 4 foot long. One of the biggest eels I have ever seen. It probably would have been a record, but back then you didn't think about those things.
Right.
And we ended up having to row all the way back to the dock, all the way back to the bank, because this eel was so big we couldn't even bring it in the boat. But like I said, up there was mostly bullheads, and the Delaware River had some channel cats, and I did get a couple of channel cats while we were up there, like in the teens, but there wasn't a lot of catfishing up there. So when we went catfishing, it was to get bullheads, and we would eat them. They're the smaller ones, just skin them, cook them whole. They were delicious. But up there we did mostly bass fishing. You would have been proud of it, LG. We've talked a little bit about that, and yeah. But if it swims, if it's got fins and it swims, we have fished for it at one time or another. Saltwater, freshwater. But we moved down here to Virginia and found out that we lived like 10, 15 minutes from some of the best blue cat waters in the country. So what do? You start going after the fish that are there, and that's what we did.
Now, when did you come down to Virginia?
We moved to Virginia in about 2011, I think, somewhere in there. Okay. And we'd actually been down here really a few years before we really kind of figured out that that's what the river was. I shouldn't have taken a big bite of that up. I was trying to get rid of it. It was delicious, but it was so good. And he's got so many peanuts in it. There we go.
Tim Molina, we're going to get to that.
But we had
a little later on.
Yeah.
We had been down here for a couple of years, and then I started hearing about the river, and we actually went to this one spot, and I had a fish on that was so big. I'm guessing it was a flathead. I never got to see it, but I was using night crawlers, and I had about 4 or 5 night crawlers all balled on a spillway that was leading down to the river. And this fish was just a monster. I never saw it. Fought it probably for 20, 25 minutes before it got on the sharp rocks. And I was using braid, because I used to use braid for bass fishing. And, I liked, with most bass fishing, I was using crankbaits, jigs, all that a lot. So braid was great for that, with the sensitivity, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
I don't like it as much with the big catfish, just because of you get a big one on and you get a rock, you get this, you get that. Pop. I've lost more big ones with that. But anyways, so I started looking on YouTube, and guess who I found? Mike Chavez. He was one of the original ones.
No kidding. Yeah.
Okay.
He was one of the OGs for YouTube for me.
Betty says shovelhead, just saying.
Right. That's right. Shovelhead, or if you go down to Creole, he'll call them yellow cats. But yeah, they're beautiful fish.
We've had a few more people join us in chat. And we got Tim Molina, Katie Collins, Danny Stone Outdoors, Fishing for Whiskers, Takedown Catfishing, Buck Williams, my new BFF Tara, a couple's crossing. So welcome. Thank you for coming in.
And see couples
Dana?
cross fishing out there. Betty, she knows a little bit about big catfish. She got that 80 pounder. So y'all got to check that one out.
Oh, that was incredible.
That was a whopper.
Definitely was.
Stan, can you tell us about some jobs you may have had before you got retired and into fishing and stuff? And
Sure.
You're able to be so personable and talk on camera like you do?
Well, everything happens for a reason and leads up into other things. Once I went into the Air Force right out of high school. I graduated at 17 and graduated in June, and by the first week of July, bam, I was in the military. So I did the Air Force. That was back in the mid 80s. Once I got out of that, moved back to upstate New York where we were living at there, and I went to first thing I did was I did a factory job during the day, and I was closing Burger King at night because I love the restaurants. And then I ended up getting a job doing, actually, y'all are not going to believe this. I was actually in sales. I sold life insurance.
Wow.
Life insurance and mutual funds. So back then it was a little different. I mean, we would do Mondays to set up our schedule for the whole week.
Yeah.
We would just grab a phone book. You go into the office, grab a phone book. You know, for those younger people out there, there used to be this book that had everybody's name, alphabetical order, and it had their house. You know, everybody had a phone in their house. I know it's weird to think that, but yeah, everybody had a phone in their house, and that was all you had. So,
and I gotta say that book hurt when you got it in the back of the head when you weren't acting right when you were young.
Yeah.
It's still like that where I live. You have to have a phone in your house to have the internet, and we still get a phone book mailed out each year in May.
Wow, really?
Yep.
That's how country I am.
Well, that's like where I used to live in upstate New York. Our whole town had like didn't even have a population of 300. So
yeah.
But anyways, so we would sit down and take the book, and we'd draw things, and somebody would get whatever letter, and that's what you had to do, and you'd sit there all day long just going through the book. And you would just going through the book, and you'd say, "Okay, hey, how you doing? My name is Stanjuan. I work with Fisherman Corporation, and I've got awesome thing for you. I'd like to talk to you about." And out of every 500 calls, you might get one appointment set up, but you just keep doing it. You just keep doing it, and
Wow.
so I had to, and then I did managed restaurants for over 20 years, so you kind of get used to talking to a bunch of different people, and you gotta know a little bit about something, because you never know who you're talking to. So you can have a little bit of something on every topic. You can talk to just about anybody.
Right. Hey, Betty says that fish was one of those once in a lifetime things, but I still planned to make twice in a lifetime happen. Good for you, Betty. I hope you get it. Get 100. Get a hundo, as they say.
That's right. And if anybody has the drive to do it, it's her. I would not bet against her. I would not bet against Jody. There's a few people out there that I would just never ever take a bet against them. So
I was impressed with the big bucket of crappie that Betty and Dee caught the other day. That they had those pictures of. That was amazing.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
Yes,
we got another question. Can you tell us the story about Stanjuan? How that come about? What's that exactly about?
Well, obviously there's I'm a Stan 2, and actually Junior, but we started doing the YouTube thing, so I'm 2 and Stan 3, but he was there was a Stanjuan whose personality is probably bigger than mine, if y'all could believe that. For anybody that watched the Father's Day show, they saw me pull out the big black cowboy hat towards the end of that, and we started catching some fish. And he did construction work, and yeah, that's right, original telemarketer. That's right. He did construction work, roofing, and things like that. So he had a lot of issues with his knees and ended up in a wheelchair, but he probably had a story for just about everything. I know y'all have a hard time believing that, but and 99% of them were true, with a little bit of embellishment. But but he was the one that started me fishing from way back when, and it's just something that was really. It's been one of the most important things in my life is fishing and outdoors really in general, because I hunt, and I used to hunt, and I passed that down to my son. So that's where the fishing actually came from, was Stanjuan, from Stan Senior. So that was and he passed a few years ago, so 2019, I think. But Yeah, so that
But
was
you're still on the hunt for the devil cat, right?
oh, without a doubt. That's
Yeah.
we ended up getting the you know what there, but that spot is one of those I have hooked into some other monster fish there that they've broke. I had one that just snapped. It was a braided line, again with the braided line. I don't usually use braid, but just popped it. And I've had the week before the sturgeon, I had a monster pick it up. I had it, fought it for seconds, maybe 30 seconds or so. And that's actually why we even ended up back at that spot, because I've had multiple huge fish right there, and I have not. The only one that I've landed is that the sturgeon, but the other ones, which I know are catfish, they've all managed to get away from me. So you will definitely see You will definitely see us doing some more fishing at the Devil Cat spot,
Awesome.
and you'll see a big one coming in the boat from there, guaranteed.
We've had Chucky Morgan and Cal Norris come in. And Stan, I'd like to say thank you for your service towards Veterans Day. You got any plans for that?
Actually, yeah, I'm a little nervous about it. I've got to go to my granddaughter's school tomorrow. And y'all out there know that I'm really nervous in front of the camera. I don't really like talking and things like that. So, I'm nervous about it. I don't know how it's going to go. But I'm looking forward to it, because bless her heart, she was like, she texted me the other day. I know kids with the phones, I still can't get over it, but she texted me, and she is she's 12 now. She's like, Grandpa, can you come to my school at 8:30? And I'm like, of course I can. I didn't even know what it was for at the time, but then after that I found out, she told me what it was. She says, I really want you to come. So of course. I'm sorry, what's that?
Call her Tiny.
Tiny is
Tiny in the video?
that's the littlest. That's the littlest one.
Okay.
There's Little Smith and Tiny Smith, and they picked that out. That was their stage names. That was their YouTube names.
Yeah.
Little Smith, Tiny Smith.
Okay. Is that the only two grandkids you have?
Yep. That's the two. I've got a son and a daughter. Y'all know Stan 3. Y'all have my daughter Grace. Y'all have heard some of the stories about her. Dang it, I should have had the painting, but you saw the tattoo on my arm of the catfish. She actually painted that and made a painting, and that tattoo came right from the painting. She took me on Father's Day. Wow. Probably 5 or 6 years ago or so, and they actually did the tattoo from the painting, so that was pretty cool. That was a great Father's Day present. So and then I've got the two granddaughters, Little Smith, Tiny Smith, 12 and 10 now.
Well,
all right, thank you, Betty. Appreciate it.
Yeah, there it is. We'll do it quick. There's the
oh wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, it is.
There's the painting of that she had made for me Father's Day a couple years before that, and then that got turned into the tattoo. So,
well, that's a good story.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
So tell us a little bit about.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say we've always had. My daughter's always been the artistic one, and then Stan 3 with the athletic. So we've had both sides of, and I did, whether it was my daughter did band and all that in school, and I would do the same thing at band on her concerts and things that I did at football, except at the band concerts and the recitals and things, they kind of frowned upon the green and yellow paint and the woo. They didn't appreciate that as much as they did on the football field. So
yeah, right. So if you would, tell us a little bit about Stand 3. We locked up?
Well, Stand 3, I think we're good now. Mine went, I had the spinning wheel of death for a second, but I think it came back. Yeah, there. Thank you, Melissa. Thank you. Yes. Tim is saying, who's the better son, Stan 3 or Dan? Put me on the spot. Well, we'll get to Dan in a few minutes because I'll take that. But Stan 3, he did like we were saying, he did the sports, and same thing. He's been fishing since he was born. We had moved into a house. We lived right on a lake in Sullivan County, New York. So it was, they loved it. It was beautiful there. And I'm trying to think. He was young when we moved there. I think he was in there. So he pretty much was raised on the lake. Him and my daughter were, they were both raised on the lake, and so they grew up fishing, swimming, all that kind of stuff out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
That's the life. That's where we lived and loved it. I wouldn't trade that for anything.
Mm-hmm.
To keep us there, I was saying about managing restaurants. Where I got the one of the last restaurants I was managing, it was almost 100 miles one way. So I was commuting back and forth. Like I said, almost 200 miles a day, but it was worth it to have my kids in one of the best school districts, right on a lake. So it was worth the 3 or 4 hours of driving every day just to do that. But love you too, Peanut. But so he grew up on the lake with fishing all the time. The kids coming over to swim. Everybody was we always had multiple kids over at the house all the time, and I know that's probably a shock to you. I'm sure that y'all don't believe that I was popular like that. That it was a popular spot. The kids come over and go swimming and fishing and blah blah blah. But that that's awesome, and kind of with our channel, that's how we're two Stans fishing.
Right.
For those that remember, we kind of, I found YouTube, was doing the chats and stuff, and Tom, that's where you and I actually met. I think you were even the one that reached out to me, and I don't remember what show it was, but there was something that came up, and somehow we found we're both Virginia, and you said, hey, my son caught, we were texting, and we ended up texting back and forth, and then the rest is history with that. But
yeah, that was a 5-hour text the first night we started chatting.
Yeah.
It ended at like 3:30 in the morning. I think it was from a Chunky Live.
It probably was.
Catching, and I think you asked me to. I had I had caught a huge amount. I think it was a carp. And you said, "Oh, send me the picture."
Yeah.
And I dug it out and found it, and then we just went on chatting, and we've been chatting ever since.
It's awesome, and now I consider you one of my best friends, and
same here.
Family, family. Yeah. Like when I went there to visit you and Michelle, I couldn't have. It was like it was like your family that you haven't seen them. It's been a while since you've actually physically been there, but once I saw you and met you, and I walked in the house and I told Michelle, hi, I'm Stan. She's like, I know who you are.
Well, it's kind of funny if just how the first time you came down here kind of came about. If you don't mind me telling that.
No, go ahead.
I got a text from Diane. Please come kidnap my husband for the weekend. Please take him fishing.
Yeah, and that is the one. I was in I was talking about the commuting and et cetera, and I was in the really bad car accident, and that was in 2009, and I still have physical and other issues from it still to this day. So I don't drive, so that that does put a hamper on things, because I've always been that type of person my whole life. I was the one that did things. I didn't want help from anybody. I would never ask for help. And so happened to even as good of friends as Tom and I are, I feel awkward. I wouldn't, and it's never, he's like, I'll come up every day. It doesn't matter. But I still have, it's just, I'm still not used to saying, hey, I need help, or can you pick me up? But, so that's the issue with the, with fishing, is I got to rely on somebody else to bring me here or there. And it's probably better that I fish with somebody else, just in case something goes on. And
right.
I know how you feel. I don't like asking people for help. I've always been, people ask me for help, and then it's just hard to finally ask when you need something to ask somebody for it.
Yeah, it's not, that was the hardest thing with the accident, was actually admitting that you can't do everything anymore.
Yeah.
I always felt 10 foot tall and bulletproof and I could do anything. And then to actually come to the realization that, well, now you may need help doing some things, that's one of the hardest things.
Yeah.
From that, but you got to do, you go with what's dealt to you, and you try to make the best of it, and
be thankful for what you can do.
Exactly. And that's what YouTube has brought back to me, because for some of the people that have been watching us a while know the whole story, but just to keep it really short, I told you about the accident in 2009, and we were talking about my father. He passed away a couple years ago, and had some uncles pass, and my sister had her leg amputated, and it was just thing after thing after thing that was just kind of building up, and I was just, well, I'm done. I'd just kind of given up on a lot of things, and then kind of found the YouTube and started talking with awesome people like LG there, and one thing led to another, and bam, we started. I started wanting to go back out again. And that's how we started doing it, because I needed the ride out there. So we started going fishing every Sunday morning, because Stan 3, he was hunting back then. And in Virginia, you can't hunt on Sundays. So that's why we picked Sunday mornings, because he worked Monday to Friday as a commercial electrician. Saturday, he would go hunting. So then Sunday morning, we'd end up going, we ended up doing our catfishing, and that's kind of how the channel started. And it took us a while before just all of a sudden we're like, we were trying to come up with the perfect channel name, and you go through things and nothing seems to fit, and you're like, man, I don't like that, or that just doesn't sound right. And I'm like, we just kind of came to the conclusion. I think my wife even had something to do with it, and it was, 2 Stans fishing. That's perfect. We're Stan, and there's 2 of us. So, and then that's how that all came about, and the rest is history from there.
Yeah.
And it kind of turns out funny that you are the second guest on the show.
Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, I love it. I'm honored to be here. I think y'all are doing an awesome job. And that's right. I didn't want to be guest number 1. I wanted to be number 2.
That's pretty good one there.
Okay, so then let's talk about Dan, your other son.
Dan, the 2 of them are awesome. I just I can't thank both of them enough. Without them, I wouldn't be able to do the things I do. I wouldn't be Stan 2, because I just physically and mentally, everything, I wouldn't be able to get out there and do it. So having both of them support and the drive, and just Dan and I have gotten so close that it was he'd call me up or text, and he used to say, well, I'm thinking about going fishing on Tuesday, and now it's just like, all right, I'm able to go fishing Tuesday, I'll pick you up at 10. I'm like, good, see you then. So he just, you know, I can't say enough good things about Dan. He knows his fishing. He knows the waters. Just, you know, he's just an awesome person. He's, you know, for those that don't know, Green Machine Outdoors. He's a school teacher. And so that right there, I got to give him credit for that. I don't think I could do a school teacher in today's day and age. Don't think I could do it. But, you know, and Dan with the kayak fishing. So we've been fishing. When we go fishing, we usually go fishing out of Dan's boat. And Dan's so cool that even with the new boat, I actually went on the ride with him to go pick it up. And basically, the passenger side there, he really dubbed it my office. So that's how much he gave me the other side of his boat there. So I can't thank Dan enough for everything that he's done for me.
Okay, we got Brian B in the house. And which is your favorite, Stan? Zebra or oatmeal?
Oh. That is tough. I honestly think overall, probably the oatmeal creams.
Really?
Yeah. Zebras are awesome. But it's a tough one. They're good. And the other ones are the nutter. What do they call them? The nutter.
Nutty Buddies.
Yeah. I mean,
Uncle Lou knows all about Nutty Buddies.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my favorite, actually.
Is it?
I'm the peanut butter guy. Anything peanut butter. Reese's is my favorite candy.
Yeah. Oh, peanut butter brittle.
Brittle.
Yeah. We've had a few more come in chat. Chillin' Charlie, Dale Hayslip, Whiskers and Stripes, JP3 Outdoors, Uncle Lou. I don't think I missed anybody.
Valerie Irwin just came in, unless she came in earlier. I just see that now.
Okay. I missed Valerie.
Awesome.
Well, thank yous for coming in and sitting around with us a while. We got Stan up here from Two Stans Fishing. He's been telling us some different things about him that people might not know. I've learned a lot about him so far.
Yeah, well, that's, you know, and it's fun being on this side of it. I'm not normally. It's been a while since I've been the guest part of it.
Yeah. Well, I know everybody is wanting to hear a certain story.
Story.
And Uncle Lou's in here, so it's perfect timing.
Uncle Lou, I can't say enough. He's another one I can't say enough good things about. I consider him family, and he's just such an awesome person. One of the biggest hearts I know. So again, I can't thank Uncle Lou enough. As you can see, all the Uncle Lou stuff behind us. Basically, most of what we use on Two Stans Fishing is Uncle Lou's. We use Uncle Lou hooks, the spooks, the rattles, the swivels. It's all Uncle Lou. But anyways, I guess the story. Oh, hold on. I think I know what story you're talking about.
Yep, I believe it's the one. You've actually had requests for another story about a telly perch. Stan's PB telly perch. That comes from Uncle Josh.
Uncle Josh said what now?
He says Stan's PB telly perch. That story, Jody.
Well, we'll do this one first.
Okay.
Because
is this the one about the sturgeon that Dan caught?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Roll with it.
Yes. And that right there, that's priceless. That's this actually came. Uncle Lou had it made up for me, and as you can see in the picture, we measured it with the Uncle Lou rod. That's It was estimated, I think what they said was 212. But you know, when you catch a fish over 200 pounds, what's 10 pounds? So that's where I go with the 222.
222. That's right.
But what meant the most with that is that we were all involved with it.
Mhm.
Wouldn't have been able, obviously, would have never been able to do that by myself. It took a lot. That battle took a lot out of me because we had already been fishing. We'd already been fishing all day, and we were live actually, and we did okay. We had caught some fish, but it was, you know how you go out there some days and you're like, all right, we are on the hunt. We are getting that big fish today. And that's, that's kind of what we were out there to do. And we caught some fish and stuff. We ended the live and we're going back to the ramp. And we were just like, it's just, I want to keep fishing. Dan's like, well, I want to keep fishing too. So we ended up going back to the, it was on Thursday. Well, let me see. It was the Sunday before that where I had the devil cat, and that was kind of like for those that saw that one, I was out live with Dan and Courtney, and when that first one got off that day, I was like, when I hooked into it, that was probably, without a doubt, the one that got away was one of the biggest fish that I would have ever caught. That blasted cat knocked over my bag of peanut brittle.
Oh no! Save the brittle.
But yeah, that was probably when I hooked into that one, and I felt that first one. That was definitely would have been one of the biggest fish I'd ever caught. So, anyways, I had lost. I felt when that fish got away, I felt like I had lost my soul. I really was. I got dizzy, lightheaded, because you get on such a, rush or on a big fish like that, like the fish of a lifetime.
Yep.
Then to have it get away, I was just, it bothered me so bad. I was speechless. I couldn't even talk. And I was just, and Courtney, who was Dan's girlfriend, she was like, this is awkward. She was actually really nervous that, but so anyways, that was just before we ended up catching this fish. So we go out the next time, and like I said, we did the live. So we were done with the YouTube for that day. We were just going to go fishing because we wanted to get a big fish, and it was just for fishing. It was no videos, no nothing. We just weren't done, and we wanted to fish and catch a big fish that day. So that's what we started doing. We came up with a plan. We ended up going back over there, and we ended up all of a sudden, bam, hooking up into that sturgeon. It was in the devil cat spot, so I ended up getting the pole, and I'm fighting this thing. And we had been fighting that fish for 20 minutes to a half hour already when we all of a sudden are like, what are we doing? We got to go live. We were so caught up with that fish that we had totally forgot about the live, the YouTube and everything. So we're like, no, we got to go live. People got to see this. So Dan quick and set up the live, and y'all came on, and I think I was like this.
Yeah.
I think that's how the live started, with this retired medium action Uncle Lou's rod right there.
Yeah.
I was kind of in one of those things, and so did that, and then Dan took the rod for a little while, and he was fighting it, and we're clearing the other rods off, and it was just chaotic, and we're fighting it. And it's like I said, we went live, and people are coming in. Dan's asking questions out there about the fish because we didn't really know a lot about sturgeon, and at that point we didn't even know it was a sturgeon yet. But as the fight went on, a monster catfish, I don't care, 100-pound plus even, is only going to be able to go for so long. They've only got so much energy reserve. in their bodies. They just can't hold that much oxygen. They physically can't contain that much energy to keep going. And so as it kept going on, I'm still hoping. I wanted that devil cat. I wanted that monster. I'm thinking we're on a 100 class. But as it kept going, that kind of, you're like, okay, well, it's probably got to be one of these sturgeon, because that's the only other thing that could fight like that could give you that. And then once it passed an hour and it's hitting the 2-hour mark, pretty much by then we're like, okay, it has to be, we knew it's a sturgeon, but we wanted to see how big this thing was. And we're fighting it, and it's going back, and we're passing the rod back and forth, because there was literally times where I had the purple dots, and I really thought I was in so much pain and things from that. Like I was lightheaded. It was nuts. And finally we get it. Go ahead.
I came in on that shortly after you went live. And I got to say, I was hurting for you. You didn't look all that good when you were fighting that. A couple of times when you had the rod, towards the end of that, you weren't looking all that healthy.
Yeah, it was it was the battle of a lifetime, that's for sure. I had grabbed my Saints bandana, I think, and had wet that and had that under my hat. It was hot that day. That was summertime, so.
We have a question here for you from Whiskers and Stripes. Stan, on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being just shoot me now, and 10 being I could do this all day, how did you feel by the end of the sturgeon fight?
Well, that's a tough question. I was probably at about a -22 as far as that's why I said I'm so glad that Stan 3 and Dan were there, because that by the end that was it. And it was a whooping me. It was whooping me. But we managed that. The medium action Uncle Blue rod.
So after you released that, did any one of the 3 of you say, "Let's go do it again"?
Absolutely, we all did. Because by then, for everybody that saw it, as you can see, we're at the boat ramp here. So we had caught this, out downriver from the boat ramp, and we're trying to figure out, well, how do you land a 200+ pound fish? It's not going in a net, and normally what you would do for the bigger fish like that is you have like a like the weighing sling.
Yeah.
There's a landing sling like that also, where you kind of put it out there, and they use that for your bigger like pike and muskie, things like that.
Yeah, I've seen those for the muskie, yeah.
With the muskies, yep. And that's we have done that up in upstate New York. That was the big fish that we fished for up there, was pike, muskie, etc. So we're thinking, all right, how are we going to land this thing? And we're also thinking, the health of the fish. Plus, in Virginia, you're not allowed to target sturgeon, because they're just making a comeback. They were basically, they're on the endangered species list. This is the Atlantic sturgeon, which is an ocean fish. And they come up into the rivers in July through like October, November. They're pretty much, by then, they're going back out. They're making the yearly mating runs. But where was I going with that now? Anyways, as you can see, we're in the water. So after we got this fish released, you see the boat is way back here. We got the pictures and that, and by then there was a crowd. As you can see, we're there. We handed our phones and stuff off, and the GoPro and everything, to the crowd that was up here at the end of the ramp. So we had passed that off. They're taking the pictures and everything for us by that point. So once we turned around, once we got that done, I took the fish and kind of pulled it back out with me a little bit. And because the health of the fish, that's what it was. The health of the fish was the main concern. If at any point I felt that fish was, if I felt that the health of that fish was where if it came up, or all of a sudden it just started like giving up, obviously I would have just, we'd let it go. That was the main thing, but it was still battling. It still had energy. That thing still had more energy than I did. So that's how we came up with the plan. We were close to here, so we're like, well, let's get it over to the boat ramp. We can get in the water with it. Because like I said, in Virginia, you're not allowed to target them. You can catch them accidentally, but you can't physically target them because they are on the endangered species list, et cetera. They got a whole program where they're trying to build them back, and the numbers are coming back up wonderfully. So, who knows in the future, that might be something that's available. But so we get it back there. I go to release it. It swims off, and I'm like, you know what? What better way to end this? I'm floating out here. I swim off, swim back to the boat, and that's how I got. And so that dip in the water, that's exactly what I needed. By the time I got back up out of there, it's like, all right, let's go catch another one. And
that's a good story. I like hearing it.
Well,
Some
thank
people
you.
get tired of it, but I enjoy it because I'm always about a big fish.
Oh yeah, and that was when you catch a fish. And the funny part is I caught a fish. It's bigger than Stan 3. It's bigger than Dan, but it's only about half of me. So.
Well, you did it with family, and what better way to get it?
That was it. If I would have been by myself or whatever, it would have it would have been great. But because it's this, because they're there. I mean, you see that right there. You see this. That was what made it priceless. It was one of those. It couldn't have been a better experience. It could not have been any better. And then the fact that it was caught on a medium Uncle Lou's rod. I got so much love and respect for Uncle Lou. That just made it even that much better.
Yes.
I had the opportunity. I talked to Stan shortly after they came off the water, and I was so happy for him. He was telling me his story. He says, "Hey, I gotta go. I'm on another show in 3 minutes."
Yeah, that tends to. That's kind of why I'm late. A lot of times, actually, there's always something going on.
We've had some more people come and chat. George Ray, Annette Morgan, Chillin' Charlie, Fishing the Dock, Nurse Woods Peachtree, Team Snagging Whiskers, Mr. Kitty Whiskers, and Fish Snatcher. And Fish Snatcher said, "Uncle Lou, if you get him another picture, I'm going to jump out of your closet."
Well, he'll do it too.
Does anybody in chat have any questions you want to ask Stan? If you do, you can start writing them, and we'll try to get to them.
Do you plan to have that rod mounted somewhere, or just going to keep it next to the screen?
It just kind of, how things just some things just kind of take on a life of their own, and this is one of those things. So eventually, it'll probably get mounted probably with this picture if I get things if I can get things more set up. But for right now, it's part of the everybody, we kind of have that sturgeon joke going right now, and if people bring it up, I just love having the rod there and say, hey, look at this. It's kind of fun, and people get a laugh out of it, and that to me, that is why I'm doing this. If I can brighten somebody's day, inspire somebody, if they're having hard times and they're wanting to give up on things, if I can go out there and do that, I mean, you can do anything.
But what also impressed me is not only did you land that fish, but you did it with a left-handed reel.
Yes. Yeah, I forgot about that part. Yeah, I'm normally right-handed, but Tom uses the left-handed bait casters. And Dan are all left-handed. Hazard came down here. I went fishing with him. He had both of them. So the first time I had ever caught a fish on the left-handed, you would have thought that I was I was, you would have wondered, wow, is this guy okay? I hope he's all right. It was just, I felt like I had never fished. It was just, I just couldn't do it, but just kept doing it and kept doing it. And, everything happens for a reason. And I think I came across those reels like that, and it all led up to that happening.
Yeah.
JP3 wants to say, Stan, if you catch a 70-pound plus blue cat by the end of the year, I'll cut my hair like yours.
Well, it could happen. It could happen. And I'm about to I was trying to get a haircut before this thing tomorrow because I like to keep it cut really short, like a military cut still, but
Battery going dead.
that didn't work out. But
so let's talk about what you see for the future of the channel. What do you got planned for the rest of this year besides catching a 70-pound plus blue cat? Where do you see the future?
It is crazy. I mean, I got to fish yesterday. I'm sure a lot of y'all saw that. I got to fish yesterday with a professional catfish angler.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was awesome. We had a great time out there. Every situation, everything that could have went wrong yesterday. But we hung in there. Eventually, we got the tower to work. We did catch a fish. So that was great. But, it's all about meeting the people and having fun. And it was just a blast. That's the second or third time that I've been able to meet with John, with Real Time and Miss Dana. And they're special people. And, again, talking about feeling like family, it feels like they're family. And
can I stop you just for a sec? Buck
yes, I just saw that. Go ahead, please.
Need prayers. Big Mike's wife just went in the water. He got her out. He said she was okay. She looked okay. And he ended the live to take her to the truck. So prayers. Yes, we're all praying for Big Mike and his wife. Hope everything turns out well. I hope he'll reach out to us and let us know everything's okay.
Her name's Misty. I hope she's doing okay. Yeah.
Misty, there'll be a bunch of people praying that everything's going well for you. And
absolutely.
That brings up a point. People think, fishing, it's, and especially on the bank, they think, on the boat, people have a little more respect for it, life vests, etc. But there's just as many things, if not more, that can happen on the bank. Y'all have seen me in the water. I've fell in the water more than once, and I know many times people were taking bets on which one of us was gonna fall in the water first, and everybody that's most of the time when I'm off camera, when I'm not on YouTube, I use a cane to walk. Even I try not to do it. I don't know why. It's just one of those things. But when I'm on YouTube, I try not to use it. And but yeah, most of the time I walk with a cane. I have issues walking and stuff. So it can be, there's just as many dangers on the bank. Slipping off the rocks, the shores get slippery. Even the docks get slippery, fishing like on the famous dock. Tom, one of the funniest thing I remember is your son that night when the pole went off at the end and he was chucking down the end to get that thing, and I don't know how he caught himself, but he did. He ended up slipping in on the dock and just barely caught himself right before he got up. But I got to give him credit, man. He, in the middle of that slide and roll and everything he did, as he came up out of it, he grabbed the rod, and so that was pretty awesome. But yeah, there's so many dangers on the bank that we don't, you think, oh, you're bank fishing, you're safe, but there's, you got to be, you have to, if you're around water, you're fishing, not fishing, whatever, you need to respect it. You never know what's going to happen.
And you see what current he fishes in.
Right. Yeah.
And the water is cold. I can tell you that out of experience.
Yeah.
So I know
Yeah, I'm sure that.
between the current and the coldness of the water, I'd say it was really hard on her. And I met her, I guess it was Saturday night. She was a really sweet lady, and I'm sorry it happened to her.
Well, she's got to be a sweet lady to put up with Big Mike. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now he was real nice too. I mean,
I was kidding. I always, that's one thing I am always trying to joke. Yeah, I'm always trying to joke. I'm trying to make light of things, but
yeah. I've just started going around meeting some people, and I'm just surprised at how friendly everybody is and welcoming. He was really nice and took me a couple places to fish. And like when I went up Tom's, they felt like family, right off the bat.
Right. I mean, Michelle is just awesome.
Yeah.
I think I had gained probably 5 pounds while I was there.
Yeah.
Between those absolutely amazing. If you haven't watched that breakfast sandwich video yet,
God.
you better watch
about that sandwich.
Right? It's just it does, because it's got the smell, it's got the thing that brings you back to all those grilled cheese sandwiches as a kid. But then it's so much more than that, because then you actually see it and it's perfectly crisp from edge to edge. You take that bite and you get you're smelling the grilled cheese of a kid, but then you get the bacon smell too. And you take that and it goes through the crisp of that bread, and the texture is perfect. The bite is perfect. Then you look and the egg is cooked perfect yellow. The cheese is melted throughout everything from end to end. There's no empty. I mean, it's a perfect sandwich. So check out that video, LG Bass's video out there. If you haven't hit that like and the hook set button, and you want to do that, because that is an awesome video. Learn how to make that sandwich, and that it is just awesome.
Well, Stan, there's also a video on the ooey gooey bars.
Yes, that's true. The official snack of the dock.
Yep.
They are amazing also.
And guess what? Michelle started her own channel tonight.
Woo-hoo-hoo!
Yep.
The links has been dropped in chat. So she's going to start doing her own videos.
It's under It's All Mine. That's her new channel for her cooking videos that she wants to do. She received a request to do a thing on stuffed shells. So today was the first installment with the making of the meatballs.
Okay.
Awesome.
Looks like you've had a couple more people come in. Fishing Local 336, Rico, and Richard Conyers. I don't think I've missed anybody.
That's right. Way to go, Michelle. If you need help with anything, Michelle, feel free to ask. I will definitely help you promote the channel, get things out there. And especially if you need any taste testers, I'll be more than happy to come down there.
Now I'll drive 7 hours, Michelle. For done with them sandwiches. I also met Art and Josh and Aaron, and then I met Kelly Bullock the other day. And like I said, everybody I've met's been great people. I got no complaints.
Well, as I like to say, Jody, if you and Stan, anybody that's been to this house is family. So you're welcome at any time. Bring your appetites, bring your poles.
Yeah.
Or just come to hang out.
Thank you. Yes, I know you've extended that, and even bring my wife, and y'all are just awesome. And
I don't think you had any questions in chat. I guess everybody knows everything about you.
Well, we kind of interrupted him in his answer to what does he see for the future? Is there any plans or any big meetups or collaborations coming, or what do you got?
There is always plans happening. There's always something going on. First and foremost, I was excited to do this show tonight. So thankful to be guest number 2 on episode number 2. This has been awesome. Tomorrow night, of course, there's only a couple of episodes left of the Pontoon Jody Flathead Challenge. And I think I'm a co-host over there. I've been having a blast. Doing that with Jody.
Yeah.
Last week it was great having you up there, LG, and we have a lot of fun. I love that, Jody, because it's more just we get kind of serious sometimes with the tournaments and this and that, and that's kind of tournament like, but it's just friendly. There's points and all that, but yep, you won, and you've won, I think, more than anybody, right?
I think so, but it's not about the winning. I just like out there fishing and having fun. Like, everybody wants to win, but if you can get a big fish, get that big fish. I want to see it. I don't care to lose to it.
That's right. And we had Catfish Curtis a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
What, like 3 minutes after it ended, all of a sudden, whoop, went down, and he fights it, and he ended up. We were calling him day late and dollar short, but but that next week he was right on time and had the exact change because he won it the next week. He caught a couple nice ones the next week, and but that's a lot of fun. So we're doing that. I'm doing that on Thursdays, and if you do that in the future, I'd be more than happy to do that again with you. It's been a blast getting to know everybody there. And then Friday night, of course, I got my Friday night show. This week we're going to be talking about that big challenge that's happening between. We were talking about Big Mike, but it's John Euler, Big Mike, and Small Town Outdoors taking off from. They're going to go fish the Tennessee River there with Big Mike. They're taking on the Has Life. Everybody knows Chunky Cats Fishing and Brian B. Catfishing. They're representing the Potomac. So that is happening Saturday night. But Friday night, we're going to be doing the show at 8 p.m. talking about that. If we're going to try to get some of them to come up there. And you know how that goes. If the Potomac's involved with it, there's going to be some smack talk going and some fun. And, there's always going to be that kind of excitement with it. Saturday, 6 p.m. on Two Stands Fishing is the actual event. Fish Snatcher is going to be hosting that with me. He does a great job. He's one of the best with timing and getting all the other stuff set up and going back and forth and clicking the different screens. I'm able to do my thing and just talk to the chat and do that kind of thing. He does that. So that's Saturday. Sunday morning, of course, we'll be doing stand day. I'm doing the Palmetto Cats Walmart challenge coming up, and I've got to win this one. I've been fished the most iron cats. I've caught the most fish in iron cats. I've got the most hours in iron cats. Most second place finishes in the iron cat. I have to win one. So I need to go out there and win that Walmart challenge iron cat. But
we
yeah,
had you close when you were here. We were in the overtime period. We had it.
Yeah. I think everybody was shocked that from the dock we almost won it. We just needed that one more bite, and we just couldn't get that last bite in. But it was we had a good night there. We did pretty well. I think people were shocked that that the dock held its own against the Potomac River that night.
Yeah. Yep.
Now tell me this, Stan. Did you have trouble casting out hitting that channel?
Yeah,
No?
pretty much.
Yeah.
I'm you'll see a lot of times Stand 3 will do a lot of the casting, or if we're out in the boat, Dan will do it, and Stand 3.
Yeah.
Because I've got really pretty serious back issues and stuff, and it's not always, especially if you're doing things and you're getting around, and it's just not as easy to do that. But also it helps. The Uncle Lou's rods cast awesome, and then you put a good reel on there like an Abu with I can't reach it there, but I have one of my special reels, the Abu Garcia, which came from Mr. Tom right there. I won that in the 7-7 bank tournament.
For most fish, yep.
We caught 35 catfish in one night, and so that's that reel.
Jody was just asking me about that reel. What I thought of it. What would you tell her about the 6500 C3?
That is an awesome awesome, awesome reel. It's one of the best casting reels. You would hit that channel with a Abu Garcia C3.
I
You'll
was that
hit that.
close. I never could
Yeah.
nail it.
You will get it out there. You pretty much can't backlash those bird's nest. I mean, you will a little bit, but it's just smooth. The only thing is for catfishing, you do need to get the power handle because otherwise you're sitting there like, you know, it casts out so far, and then you're sitting there like this, trying
Especially
to
when
get
they're coming at you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that dock is something. Those fish just they motor it right at the dock, and you're bunch of times I was thinking I lost the fish, and no, they were just swimming. They were swimming faster than I could reel.
Yeah.
But that's that C3 that is an amazing reel. Like I said, the only thing with it is you need to get the power handle. Other than that, you can't, for casting distance, smoothness, everything. That's just awesome. And like I said, Tom, I was so glad that you put that up. And that was, if you saw, that was probably one of the first tournaments that I was really kind of serious about. You know, I wasn't really talking camera that much. I was all about just catching that fish because that is, I wanted that reel.
You talking about that tournament? Me and Aaron's been talking about it with LG about doing another 7 to 7. He wanted me to help. So.
It's awesome. If y'all need, I am more than willing to do whatever anybody needs for that.
Yeah.
I had a blast. I hosted the original one. And Aaron was feeling bad that I didn't get to fish in it. So then when we did the next one, I did one night and Rebecca did another night. And then the next one was like the variation of it where we did the river and bank team. We did the river and bank team, and that one was on Rebecca's channel. But whatever he needs, if he wants me to fish in it, run a night of it, I don't care, whatever. I think it's awesome. We got our start bank fishing, and bank fishing, that's your die hard. They go out there and you pick a spot, and that's what you're betting everything on that spot, because it's tough to get all, especially if you're doing YouTube where you got to bring out the tripods and the other lights and this and that. So you're stuck there. That's your spot. If it's not working, you can move, but it's that's a double effort. But so the bank fishing, I love it. I love that's
he's gonna have a twist to this one. It might not only be bank fishing involved.
Woo!
So you just have to wait until he gets it all planned out.
This is the kind of news to me, Jody. I haven't heard this one yet.
And it just come about this week.
Okay, well he's coming Friday, so I guess I'll find out in the morning, Friday morning.
If someone can share Aaron's channel, I'd appreciate it.
Yes, please drop Catfish Regulators. He's been doing this a while. I remember way back when I was trying to tell y'all need to put this on every night, every Friday night. Y'all there, call it. I was calling up all kinds of stupid names for it, live from the dock or whatever. But it's I'm amazed at how that dock performs with the fish that y'all have caught there. I know you've kept the record of it, and the amount of fish that have been caught in that one spot. It's just been absolutely amazing. And I see out there, speaking of the power handle, Michelle, It's All Mine says, I've become a reluctant expert in replacing power handles. Because I think the weekend I was there, that was when we were trying to get that done with, when Aaron was there, we were trying to do that. And the little screw, we were on our hands and knees across the entire kitchen looking for the thing.
That tiny little, it's called an E-clip. And if you don't have a hold of it. If it shoots off there, you're never going to find it.
But yeah, that's the Abu Garcia with the Uncle Lou's rod. Bam, you're set.
Let's see.
So, Stan, do you think there's any chance that 3 guys from the James would fish against the winner of the Tennessee versus Potomac?
You never know what might happen. You never know. There's, y'all seen us. I've been doing the no script with Has Life, and speaking of the Potomac guys, with Has Life, Brian B. Catfishing,
Right.
and Fish Snatchers in there. But the Potomac guys, they're awesome. They have a great river there. They're just awesome, fun people to hang around. We're always talking about some project or doing this or doing that, and having fun. So we've talked about some different things, and I would love to. I've done so many of the online. I'm always up for something, and
Right.
It's fun. I love being able to go out there and do that stuff. But that's right. Brian B is like, So you never know. It could be one of the things out there. Brian B and I partnered up about a month or so ago on Do You Has What It Takes? And I think Brian B and I proved that we has what it takes, because 2 Stans fishing in Brian B. We ended up tie. But so I'm doing the stuff no script with Brian B. Catfishing channel. When there's the Do You Has What It Takes challenges that Has been doing, I usually end up hosting them on his channel with Fish Snatcher.
Okay, that was quite an exhibition that Has and Chunky put on.
It was an awesome show. We had a lot of fun doing that.
I mean, Chunky had 30 fish in 5. It was like one fish every 5 or 7 minutes or something like that.
Yeah.
For the whole 5 hours.
It is just that the Potomac River is an awesome fishery. They have, but I want to clear up one misconception with things. People think that just because there's fish in those waters, that all you got to do, anybody can go there and just throw this or do that. You've seen a lot of other people fish the same spots and not have the same success. So you still got to know where you're casting, what spots you're looking for. Some spots you could be 30 feet up or downstream, and you're getting a total different result. And I mean, you've all seen that on when you're fishing and somebody just upriver from you or down the bank from you at a lake, and they're just nailing them, and you're just off by 30 feet. So you still got to know, just because there's fish in the waters, you still got to know how to catch them, have the right equipment to catch them, et cetera, et cetera. So,
and know a little bit about the tides.
Oh, the tide. If you're fishing tidal rivers, that's totally different than just straight rivers. So yeah, that was a hard trying to get used to the different tides, because you'll have fishing spots that are more productive during different tides. So that's another thing that you got to pick up and learn, and how that goes. But I enjoy it.
Art wants to know if I'm calling out the James River. No, I was just wondering if there was anything in the works.
Yeah.
But that could be something worked out too. Who knows? We could have a dock versus river coming up in the future. Who knows? That's one thing that's great. Every opportunity is out there. You just biggest thing I can say to anybody and everybody is just stay positive. Have fun doing it. If you're trying to do the YouTube channel thing, if you aren't having fun, if you're worried about, oh, I need this sub, I need that, I gotta get, you're worried about that, just stop, because you're not, it's not going to work for you. It's going to drive you nuts. If you can't have fun doing it, especially in the beginning, you might as well just stick with fishing. Don't worry about the because you've seen a bunch of people get so caught up in their numbers, in the numbers, and I need subs and this, that they just don't have fun doing it, and you can tell. So that is that'd be that, you know, piece of advice for people that are trying to start YouTube or doing YouTube fishing. It's got to still be about the having fun, being positive, being out there fishing. It's got to be about that, and that's what's going to make you successful or successful. It's just enjoying it. It doesn't, you know. When I say successful, I don't mean numbers or anything. I mean you're there, you're doing what you're doing, you're having fun doing it. That's what I think is successful.
Right.
Yeah. If you're having fun, other people's having fun normally.
Yep.
So we had 3 more people: Whisker Dreams and Lance McCouguy and Mike's Fishing Home come in.
Excellent.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Did I hear in the smack talk the other night going back and forth that the loser of the Tennessee versus Potomac has to fish in a onesie?
Yeah. Yes. And you know, there's always some sort of something going on. If you're betting against the Potomac River, sort of like somebody else up here on stage, that somebody else up here, not mentioning any names, Jody, that there's always some sort of side bet going on that so yes, the losers of that has to do a live stream fishing in a onesie. So that should be kind of interesting there.
You know, I want to see it, but then I don't want to see it.
I know. There's so many things like that. Yes, it was kind of like the catwalk on the dock that night. Everybody wanted to see it, but we're like, no, I don't know. But
Big hello to Dewey Cooter. LG Bastards is live. Thank you, Dewey.
Oh goodness. But yeah, I want to see it, but I'm like, do I really want to see it?
Yep. That's like NASCAR, you know?
Yeah.
Everybody, you don't want to see the crashes, but you can't turn away when it happens.
Yeah.
Mike's Fishing Home says, I stand by my story. Stan needs a mountain doozy.
Hey, Silver Fox Sandy. And then we had the Dewey Cooter come in.
And Uncle Josh is talking about a certain bet that was lost on the dock, I believe.
That's right.
You
were majestic. You were majestic, Uncle Josh.
Yep. I'm running out of victims. Nobody would take a bet now.
That's what happens. People up real quick.
And I have 2 slots open for fishing tomorrow night. If anybody wants to join, they can message me on Facebook or send me an email.
Excellent.
Ooh.
Yep. Had some weather rolling and a couple people dropped out.
And you know, that's another thing with the Mountain Dew. Everybody can see this. Actually, this hoodie, John and Kimberly Euler sent me this hoodie with the case of accident. My blood type is Mountain Dew, and that just kind of, I was, you know, drinking Mountain Dew, and that's one of my favorite. That's my favorite soda, and it just kind of one of those things that stuck. You know, I go out there, and if I didn't have the dew or say something about it, people were like, "What's the matter? No Mountain Dew." So it just kind of, I got to start.
It's trademark.
I got to start every live like that.
It's your brand. Yeah.
And you know, then the have your people call my people thing just kept kind of started, and you know, with Uncle Josh out there, I'm actually, I've told the story before, but this is when I was there at the dock, and I was having a tough time of it. We were out fishing all night, and I was having I even had a bigger oversized chair, but it was one of the more like the what do they call them? The camp chairs, right? Is that what they call it?
Yeah.
And it's kind of just that where it's like a hammock kind of thing where and it was pinching across my legs. I was not doing well. And, Uncle Josh literally gave me the chair from underneath them. And it has literally turned into my, I don't go fishing without it. I do the YouTube in it because it's so supportive and it's comfortable. And, I say that I need 3 things to go fishing. I need my fishing pole, I need my Mountain Dew, and I need the chair. So JP3 is saying stand 2, aka Dale Jr.
Yeah. I think we've gone over time a little bit. Has anybody got anything else they want to add?
Yes, I was just checking chat to see if we missed anything.
And for all those late night people that are looking for, if you're ever up late night and you'd rather have something else to watch and not sit there and watching the infomercials and stuff, Mike's Fishing Home has been doing a great job with, he's going live during the overnights a lot of times. So if you're not with Mike's Fishing Home yet, that's a good channel to check out. You'll see a bunch of us there most nights of the week. And you never know who's popping up on Mike's Fishing Home Live. So
sometimes he gets a pretty good crowd of a night.
That's one thing I've learned. There's always people up. That's actually kind of how I got started with doing the lives and stuff. I was actually doing a show with someone and said I'd help them out and do the weekly show with them on their channel. And I don't know, apparently it was a health situation or whatever. So we ended up not going live. And I literally had messages, hey, is everything okay? You're not live. Y'all aren't live. So I didn't even have StreamYard at the time. But I went, well, I can do this. So looked up StreamYard. I set it up and went live. And I started it. I'm like, okay, now this is only going to be, because we're late. This is only going to be a quick, short live. Well, 13 hours and whatever later, that live ended. And the rest is history. That's right, Josh. Epic 3,455,600.
Yeah, that live you're talking about, Stan, I was watching that for a while and I was in the chat and actually I was falling asleep. I said, oh, I'm going to go to bed. And when I woke up, I turned the computer back on and you guys were still going.
Yeah.
I had slept for like 6 hours.
Yeah, I actually, and here's the thing, if you're doing a StreamYard, it doesn't matter if there's somebody else up with you, that thing will keep going. My phone, because I hadn't really done it before, so I had no idea about batteries. I had no idea about battery packs and things like that. Well, my phone died and how many hours in, so I'm like, well, I got it, that's it, the stream is over. It ended. And so I made something to eat and did whatever. I go upstairs and plug my phone in to charge. And, of course, when you start doing these things, you were like, oh, well, I wonder how many views I got or whatever. So you go to check it. And I'm like, Two Stands Fishing is still live. What is this? So I click on, and there's Rebecca and Mike Turner still up there talking. The bad part is they had more people watching than when I left. So I don't know what that says for me, but
okay, I got my timing fixed on I had the wrong time set on mine.
It's all mine. Michelle says, I kept waking up and Stan was still on.
Hey, Hogleg. Glad you made it in.
Hogleg in the house. Good to see you.
All right. Do we have any last questions before we let Stan go?
Thank you, Melissa. Thank you. Want to be outdoors? How you doing?
Hello, Mumby.
Yeah, this has been awesome. Y'all did
Hey,
like I
Matt.
said, y'all are doing a great job. It's fun being on this
Thank
side of it because I just get to sit here and talk, and
Yeah.
I don't really got to try to follow chat and read this and do that and everything
Yeah.
else. So, and we got to talk about some different things tonight that, I was glad to talk about my father, about Stanjuan and
Mm-hmm.
that part of it, and some of the other different things that people might not have known. So I appreciate you having me as number 2 on your number 2 episode.
It had to be, Stan.
It was
Well,
meant
thank you for
to be.
coming on.
It was meant to be.
Yep.
But yeah,
Yeah,
the
great time.
big thing this week for everybody out there. First of all, somebody's got to drop It's All Mine. You got to drop that link out there.
Mhm.
That is Michelle, the wonderful, wonderful Michelle. We got to give her channel some love, show her some hook sets, get her going on the right way. We talked about Mike's Fishing Home, and of course, you got One Ton Fishing Club. They've been around. I've met them from the dock. They're just awesome people too. Everybody that I've met has just been like family, and I can't thank, even in chat, I can't thank everybody enough. Truly, truly love each and every one of you from the bottom of my heart. It really does. When I do this, when I do the 2, I know I do it a lot, but I worked hard to make that mean something, and it does. When I'm showing love, I'm showing respect for you. That's what that means with the 2s. That it does mean something to me. So, and I can't thank everybody enough out there for all the awesome support and comments and everything that everybody shows me. So, thank you.
Stan, I think the first time we got together was actually up on the James.
Yeah.
We came up to you.
Yeah.
With One Ton and myself and Timmy.
Yeah. Oh, and how much fun we had that day. We didn't catch fish, but
Right.
we had a blast.
We had 23 rods out, and there was 1 fish caught in like a 9-hour day.
Yeah.
And it was the first 10 minutes we were still setting up.
Yeah. I think he was the only one that had a pole in the water at that time. He caught like a 12-inch blue cat. And 23 rods down an entire bank of the river. And I don't even think we got any bites even.
No.
So if you're covering that much space with that, and we all had like different baits. It wasn't like just one bait that wasn't working. We had chicken, we had shad, we had eel. I mean, you name it, it was out there. And not a single bite. It was just, and then, that's when you feel bad because everybody drove there. I'm like, oh, come on, give us a fish.
Yeah.
But you know what else we had? Beef bulgogi.
That was amazing. We had the beginning breakfast sandwich there that
Diane, which was wonderful. Yep.
That Diane had made for us, and that was like, okay, how can we put enough stuff together to feed One Ton and me? And so that went from there. Yeah, that was awesome. We were having so much fun with what was the guy's name, that Victor or Igor or something?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Jody, the bulgogi was a dish that Timmy Bullock's wife had made. She came with us, and she's Korean. Yeah. And it's a Korean dish with beef and rice, and she cooked it over an open flame right there on the bank for us. Wow. And it was wonderful.
Yeah, I think I had 1, 2, 7 bowls of it, maybe.
Yeah. That was wonderful. What a day.
Yeah, and like I said, we didn't catch fish, but we were joking around with the people out there on the kayaks. And Uncle, I still have, thanks to Josh, I don't know if he's still out there. Yeah, there he is. Igor, our newest brother, that's right. I still have nightmares about the bell. When I hear the bell now from Uncle Josh that day, you'll see me have a twitch because for those that weren't watching, Uncle Josh had a bell in his pocket, and he'd wait. And I didn't even have bells on my pole, but he would shake the bell, and I'd look at the poles just out of, that's what you're supposed to do, and all day long. So still having nightmares about the bell.
He did. Somebody was doing that when I was out there fishing.
See?
I kept turning around and looking.
It was him. Yep.
You didn't have bells on yours either, did you?
A couple of times I did. But I kept watching Tom's poles.
And y'all picked an awesome guest to have on your first show.
Right.
There he is out there, real-time catfishing. And he's saying that's because the reason that we didn't catch any fish, because y'all can't fish worth a lick.
That's it. That was a blast with them. We had a great time.
Yeah.
We're going to get together and fish one of these days.
Well,
we're going to get some fish.
You'll enjoy it even better because in person they're even more awesome than they are on here. So if you can believe that. We've got to fish with them a couple times now, and they are just awesome people. Again, we're talking about feeling like family. They are family.
Yeah.
And I love fishing with them or anything. So when I do the show, kind of the voice behind the scene with them, I love it. We have a lot of fun. I know they're going to be going live again here pretty soon. There's Catfish and Crappie.
Hello, Mark. Welcome.
Hey, Mark.
He was another one.
It was ending.
Kind of another. I was the first guest on his show, and now the second guest on your show. So.
Well, you hadn't got that 2 thing down back then.
That's right. That was still in development, and
yeah.
But now it's like, even my daughter said today, she's like, you with all this 2 stuff, can't even hear the number 2 without thinking of you.
Well, we got anything else we need to talk about, or I think what are we about 32 minutes over, hour and a half?
Yeah.
We've been doing pretty good. Are we ready to close?
I think we've answered we've got all the questions out, and we asked all the questions we wanted to ask. And if there's anything you'd like to just close with, Stan, or you're welcome to say I'm good.
Let's see. I've always got to say something.
Tell us the sturgeon story again?
No.
Well, we'd be here for another hour and change on that one. Buck Williams just said, Mr. and Miss Parker, the southern version of the honeymooners.
That's great.
They're just a blast, and I really wish I was confident we were going to be on some fish yesterday, and we had the oh my gosh, it was like a lumber truck had crashed. We had trees and the limbs, and there was a tire that went down at one point with the rim and everything on it, and the tires floating down, and a gas can was out there. It was just nuts, all the stuff that was coming down. But we did, the tower did manage to work. We did catch the 1 fish on it.
Right.
But, as always, Mountain Dew, have your people call my people. I do the do, baby. You know how that goes. I got to have that for every show. Again, thank you. I love each and every one of you out there. Yes. I can't thank everybody enough for the support that they show. Y'all are going to have, I'm glad that you decided to do this, LG and Jody. I think y'all are awesome. You make a great team, and I can't wait to see who you've got coming up in the future weeks. And, for this week, I can't wait for Saturday night. We're going to have a lot of fun doing that challenge. Potomac River against Tennessee River, Chunky Cats, Brian B., John Euler, Fishing Big Mike, and Small Town Outdoors. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I'll see y'all before then.
I'll see you
Thursday, I
tomorrow.
Oh, that's right. I'm on live tomorrow night. There you go, on Pontoon Jody's channel. So if you haven't hooked up Pontoon Jody yet, definitely make sure we got the link out there for her, because that is awesome. We have a blast. That is basically hanging out with your friends, fishing at night there, and it's a lot of fun doing that. So
Yeah.
we'll see everybody tomorrow night.
All right.
John has a question. What time is the tournament on Saturday? What time's that kicking off?
6 p.m. Eastern. 6 p.m. Eastern.
And what time does it end?
To midnight. 6 p.m. to
6
midnight.
to midnight?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The details have kind of been ironed. They've been ironed out. So that'll all be Friday night. I'm going to do another show talking about the actual contest and getting everything squared. And we'll probably have some of them up there with us, so we can get all, it's like that. You got to have that. If it's a big MMA fight or a boxing match, you'll have that weigh-in show.
Mhm.
Well, that's kind of like what it's going to be. You got to have that final weigh-in right before the show starts. So that's what we're doing Friday night at 8 p.m. on my channel.
Well, I wanna thank
I hope
you for
everybody
coming on.
catches fish.
Yeah, I think you're going to see some fish caught. I think it's going to be a good. George Ray says, "Mark, you missed Stan's story about his sturgeon." Well, since Mark is here, I guess I could do the story all over again.
No. You know what happens at 12 o'clock? I fall asleep on air. Whether I'm on air or whether I'm not, I'm out.
Oh my goodness.
All right. Excuse me. Why don't we wrap this up then? Stand by when we close out here. I'd like to say thanks for everybody for coming in. Enjoyed having Stan with us, and we'll see you all next week.
Thank
Take care, everybody.
Have a good night.
Thanks
Good
for
night
coming
now.
in.